Because let me tell you something. I and Senator Ben Bruce were responsible for Waziri Atiku Abubakar picking Peter Obi as his running mate.
In 2019.
In 2019, we packaged Peter Obi. We do. I mean, in this year, I will be with Peter Obi, packaging him, saying he was the next best thing after sliced bread. I will go to London. The same thing. Peter Obi, when Peter Obi met Boris Johnson, it wasn't Peter Obi that went to Boris Johnson. I took him to Boris Johnson, myself and Senator Ben Bruce. He can't deny it because I'm a meticulous record keeper. If he wants to deny it, he will be disgraced because I will get a member of the British House of Lords, Lord Daniel Hannan, to confirm. Because that's the man that arranged it. He's my friend. I said, look, we want to see Boris Johnson and we are going to bring this man along. And that's how it happened. We were packaging this man. You know, why? I don't particularly like Peter Obi. The reason why I was doing that was because I was instructed by former President Jonathan that this is the man he wants. And I'm a loyal person. And because of my loyalty to former President Jonathan, don't forget, this is a man who wrote in his book that I am the most loyal person that was in his government. He came, he spent 10 days with me in California. 10 days. You know, so, because I believe in loyalty. That's how my parents brought me up.
Sorry, Mr. Reno. Let's take it. Let's take it slow.
Step by step.
You said that former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan told you that it is Peter Obi he wants.
Waziri Atiku Abubakar called me and said I should headhunt a vice presidential candidate for him. Without telling Waziri Atiku Abubakar, as he dropped the phone, the next person I called was President Jonathan. And President Jonathan told me, it is Peter Obi. I said, sir, if I just tell this man Peter Obi, wouldn't it be rude? Because he said headhunt. He says, okay, you know, Reno, you know how to do things. So what I did was I packaged everybody. I don't want to mention the names of some people, but one of the persons that I put is an international civil servant now. The other one is chairman of a bank. So there were 3 of them. All of them, except the international civil servants, were sending me their CV. This Peter Obi that you see was sending, Reno, have you gotten the CV? Check now, refresh. This Peter Obi,
he cannot build up to 2019
The
elections.
emails are there. If he denies it, I will disgrace him.
You told him to.
All right, guys. I want to welcome you back to Trendy Nigeria, and it was hot on Honest Bunch podcast where the host Reno Omokri. So Reno Omokri appeared on that particular program and he said a lot of things. He indicted a lot of people, a lot of personality. All right, guys, we are here to just throw some light and also make our own reaction concerning that particular podcast. And here I have my own very good friend, a political analyst who will also help us also to throw some light to analyze this particular podcast.
All right, my name is Larry. We'll be analyzing what Reno said.
All right, thank you. And the program was so inspirational, was so insightful, but we have a moment, a magic moment, where Reno Omokri threw some strange bullets to Peter Obi, and he said a lot of things concerning Peter Obi, such as how he made Peter Obi, how he packaged Peter Obi to Nigerian. Larry, Reno Omokri deceived all Nigerians by packaging Peter Obi according to him. What can you say? Do you really believe that Reno Omokri packaged Peter Obi for Nigeria, as he said?
Yes, of course, that may be right. If you say he packaged Reno Omokri for Nigerians, he knows what he did then. But of course, if you look at it, the entire scenario, Peter Obi was a former governor, and at the time he left office, no one heard about him. All of a sudden, he came forth, and then he became popular this time around. First, he was the running mate to Atiku. I think that was when the entire popularity of Obi began known to the public. Before now, nobody knew much about him. But of course, after he became a vice presidential candidate, he now feels okay. He has that popularity to become a presidential candidate, and boom, he became popular, and then he was seen as the messiah for for Nigerians.
And quickly, Larry, he said something about this popular belief or popular assertion that Peter Obi left a lot of money in the cover of Anambra state government. And Reno Omokri has been dragging him over this particular issue. And he also uses opportunity, can I say opportunity now, to throw light about that you didn't leave, that Peter Obi did not leave anything, even though he left something that he borrowed higher. Because Peter Obi usually say that I didn't borrow, that I left a lot of money. But here in this particular program, we are having Reno Omokri, busting out a lot of things concerning Peter Obi. I'm not saying Reno is correct, but let me hear from Larry. What can you say about that?
In my opinion, just as he said, Reno Omokri said that it was a political strategy for Peter Obi to have said that to have left more money in the coffers of the before leaving in the coffers of the Anambra state government before leaving the office, because he did that simply to make Nigerians, because according to Reno Omokri, was aspiring for higher office. I don't know the higher office he meant. Maybe he had it in mind then that he was going to aspire for the presidency of this nation, so that he can have something to campaign on. That during his tenure, he left more than enough money in the coffers of the state government. But then he was trying to let us know that it was a political strategy, that the debt the Anambra incurred was even more than the money he left. So how can you now if you now look at it now, how can you now have more money in the account of your the account of the state government, and then you went ahead to go and borrow more money? It doesn't add up. So that's what Reno Omokri is trying to say, that it was a political gimmick just to let people know that, so that I can have something to campaign about or tell people about if he's going for higher office, so that the presidency of the nation. I think he got the idea that this man Obi will run for the presidency of this nation, so he decided strategically to make that move just to have something to campaign on.
All right, guys, we are going to watch the video in a moment, but let me quickly address this before I show you the video. Reno Omokri said that, I will disgrace you. If you venture to say, I'm lying, I will disgrace you. That one, I believe he meant that, I will disgrace you with facts and figures. And I know Reno Omokri to be a man that I really like facts and figures. So in that area, how can you describe this man called Reno Omokri?
Yeah, Reno Omokri is not, like I said earlier on, he has been at the background. A lot of people may not know him. He has been existing from as far back as the period of former President Goodluck Jonathan. I think President Goodluck Jonathan brought him to limelight, I think from one of these countries, I think UK or thereabout, to be his special assistant. Then ever since then, he has remained in PDP, and then he has always come encounter with leaders of the party, and from there he has always been making himself known in various aspects of the party and Nigerian politics. Of course, before now, he was never in support of Tinubu aspiration, but of course later on we start seeing him leaning towards Tinubu. But of course, if you say he has facts about Peter Obi, he's a man of facts and figure. Most of you, if you follow him on his Facebook, on his social media account, you will see him that he hardly made one statement without churning out facts. So we saw him at various times he had been countering Obi. He always any statement Obi makes, he always you see a Reno Omokri coming out with facts and figure just to disapprove or dislodge Peter Obi in his argument. So he's a man that is known for facts and figures.
All right, guys, quickly, let's also watch this video. We are going to come back. So as you are watching, let me get what you think concerning this particular podcast and this particular interview from Reno Omokri.
Peter Obi, very unintelligently, he was telling Nigerians that when dollar was 216 naira, you protested. But now that is 1,500 naira, you're not protesting. That Peter Obi shows that he is a trader, not a leader. Dollar was never 216 naira. It was never 155 naira. It was never 145 naira. That is not what the price was. It was subsidized. Go back and fact check me. That was why it was that at that price. The federal government was spending $1.5 billion every month to subsidize the naira at that particular level. And the reason why they were doing that was not for economic reasons. It was for political reasons, because each president did not want to be seen as having a naira that was so high. Then they would say, okay, because Nigerians don't understand economics. They just understand eba, rice, and such. So it was just, they were not doing it for economic reasons. They were doing it for political reasons. Bola Tinubu was brave enough to say, I don't care what people will say about me. This is wrong. Because don't forget, the money that we're using to subsidize the naira was not money that we had. We were borrowing it. That's why, what's the name? Emefiele is in jail today. Because they borrowed 38 trillion naira without informing the National Assembly. And what were they using that money to do? To subsidize the naira. And let me tell you, do you know what Nigerians were using that subsidized dollar to do? If I tell you, we $200 million every year our women were using to import hair. $75 million every year, French champagne. Go and check the records. 25 million.
Hey guys, welcome back. I believe you listened to him. I believe you hear a lot of things, a lot of allegation, and Reno Omokri has made concerning Peter Obi. I believe Obedience, who are the supporters of Peter Obi, they will have a lot to say. And if you are obedient, you are watching, please let me get what you have to say concerning this. And if you can prove him, let us also see the facts and figures you want to show. All right, relate your comment. All right, guys, quickly, let us round off the video. How will you describe this particular podcast, and how will you describe Reno Omokri in this particular interview?
I think this podcast provided an opportunity for Reno Omokri to unleash his venom against Obi. I'm a follower of Reno Omokri. I follow him on Facebook. Most of the time, I come across his posts about Peter Obi. Anytime Peter Obi makes statements on certain issues, or anytime Peter Obi goes outside this country to say one thing or the other that is not in tandem with his with facts and figure, you always see Reno Omokri coming out strongly and providing facts and figures. So this podcast provided Reno Omokri the opportunity, to dislodge Peter Obi, to tell the real truth about Peter Obi and what he knows about Peter Obi using facts and figures.
All right, thank you. Over to you, viewers. As we are rounding off, if you still have any other observation, any other comment, contribution to make, why can't you relate it in the comment section? And don't forget to join us here. Don't forget to like our content. Don't forget to share it. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe here. Then join us again in another video.